Hello again, guys, and welcome to the Interchange Book 3 video series. Today we're going to be doing Unit 13 from the book, and we're talking today about past modals, and specifically using past modals for suggestions and judgments about past events. So, let's get started. This is Dan. Yesterday, he didn't have a very good day. A lot of things happened to him, and now he's thinking about those things and if he reacted the right way or if there was a better way to handle each situation. Let's listen to his inner thoughts.
Did I do the right thing? I can't believe I failed the test. Maybe I shouldn't have gone to that party instead of studying.
No way, man. That party was awesome. If anything, you should have stayed later. We were having such a good time.
Don't listen to him. You could have gone home early to study, but you definitely shouldn't have gone to the party in the first place.
Come on. The guy needs to live a little. Anyways, I would have just cheated on the test. No big deal.
Cheat? How could you even think of cheating? Cheating is never the answer. I would have done my best, and if I fail, I fail. You need to accept the consequences of your actions.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But what about what happened with Dad's car? He is so mad that I scratched it when I borrowed it to go to the party.
Well, first of all, you should have been more careful when you were driving. Personally, I would have apologized to him, and I guess you could have offered to pay to fix it, too.
Ha! What a goody two-shoes. You should have lied and told him that someone else hit your car. I wouldn't have admitted it was me. You could have saved yourself the trouble.
Nah, I don't want to lie to my dad. Besides, he was already mad at me for forgetting Mom's birthday. I forgot to go to the barbecue they had for her. I didn't even buy her a present.
That's easy. You should have just pretended that you were sick. I would have taken something from the house and given it to her as a present.
That is so horrible. How could you even think of such a thing? You should have called and said you were sorry. You could have at least promised to take her out to lunch or something.
Yeah, you're right. You know what? I'm gonna go call her right now. I hope she forgives me. Hey, thanks for all your help.
Well, I'm glad at least one of us could help him.
Yeah, well, there's always next time. But don't worry. I'm sure you might actually give him good advice eventually.
Oh, I should have asked for a different coworker.
Okay, guys, so after watching the video and listening to that conversation, we're going to take a look at the grammar that we saw for suggestions. So we saw the bad side of his personality and the good side of his personality, and they were both giving him suggestions about different things in the past. So that's what we're going to look at, past modals of suggestion, to talk about suggestions for things that already happened in the past. So if you remember past modals, we know that the equation for the past modal is a modal verb, then the auxiliary verb have, and then the past participle as the main verb, as the action of the entire equation. So let's take a look at one of the suggestions that his bad side gave him. He said, "You should have stayed at the party later." Okay, so if we look at the grammar, we can see that I'm using my past modal. I have the past modal should have, and also I can use the contraction, which sounds like this, should have, right? So you can say you should have stayed at the party later. And again, I'm using that past participle. Now, it's a regular past participle in this instance. So it looks like the past tense, but it's not. Remember, that's the past participle. Let's look at the other side of his personality. You shouldn't have gone to the party. Again, here's my past modal, but now it's negative. So I only have to put that on there to make it negative. You shouldn't have gone to the party. And again, there's my past participle. Good. So I use should have and shouldn't have to obviously give suggestions about something in the past. I can use a different one though. I can use could have, right? Or in the contraction form, could have. So you can say you could have stayed at the party later. And that's a type of suggestion if you think about it, right? Again, I have my past modal and the past participle. Could have is to talk about certainty and speculation like we saw in the previous video, but also in the context of giving a suggestion to say this is a possible thing that you could have done, and that's a suggestion. So we can use it that way. Let's look at another one from his good side. You could have gone home early, right? Again, using the past modal, could have, and the past participle, gone, right? Again, the contraction is could have, could have. Okay, the last one we're going to look at is with a different type of modal using would have. So would have is also a past modal using the past participle, stayed, and I can use the contraction. I say I would have. So I would have stayed at the party later. Or his good side, I wouldn't have gone to the party. Again, the past modal and the past participle. Okay? So I want to review the three different ways we looked at to give suggestions in the three different modals. So if I'm giving a direct suggestion, right, if I'm like looking at someone and saying you, right, you should have gone home early, or you could have gone home early, right? So that's when I'm saying something that that person should have done, or that person could have done, right? So oftentimes when I say you should have, I could also say he should have, right? Or maybe she should have, and the same idea with could have. But when I use an indirect suggestion, I'm almost pretending to be the person. So Dan had some problems, and the good side of his personality is thinking, well, personally, if I were you, I would have gone home early. So what's important to know about using would have is that it's a hypothetical. And if we think, well, I'm pretending to be that person, then I'm going to think, well, personally, if I were you, I would have gone home early, right? But this part's not necessary. I don't have to use that. But I always, if I'm giving suggestions with would have, I'm always going to use I. Why? Because I'm being hypothetical and I'm pretending to be this person, right? I'm pretending to be in their shoes, as we say. And the other ones with should have and could have, I always use you because it's a direct suggestion for that person. Okay, so I hope this was helpful in learning the different ways that we use past modals for suggestions using should have, could have, and I would have. Alright guys, I hope this was helpful. Good luck, and thanks for watching.